The next content we're going to touch on is the slider, and that is exactly what it seems like. It is, did I grab it? Yes, I did, right here. It is a slideshow, and you see you can do 10 images. Um, and if I recall from our training, I think you can do 10 at a time, but you can put more than 10 images, but they don't recommend a whole lot of it. So you're better off just doing a couple of slideshows or kind of keeping it very concise per page. But basically, it's a place setting, so you can come in and grab your images and open them, and it'll always stop for alt text. So I'm going to put that in, and as you highlight each one, it'll let you put the alt text for each, and then you can continue once they're all done. And so here's your little slideshow. And just like your other gallery, for each image that you're on, you have to be on the image. You hit that little pencil, and within the constraints, you see this one's a little different. You can't it's kind of a ratio you can only do within these constraints, but you can move it around, and hopefully with that you can get it just right where you're not cutting off heads, especially when you're pulling in a slideshow with so many different uh, things. And then once I save it, and I get back to that picture, you lost that manipulation. You can make it a little smaller, but you want to try and get it just right on that first try. Along with that, you can also edit the image, which allows you to put a link if you want, if you create a link for that image. I don't see that in a slideshow, but there could be some things you want to do. Close right here. I knew there was a way to do it. And then I can also manipulate how they're seen. So I can tell it what order by just dragging this little tab of the order. And then you have a couple more things on your slider show. You see how the dots and the arrows are on top of your image. You can tell it to put it below it or on the sides. That way your image is not blocked. You can turn them off completely so they're just watching a show and there's no manipulating it. Um, and then you can also turn off the auto scroll, which turns off the slideshow, and then they could use it as a gallery or and I don't know why you would want to do that. I kind of like the whole idea of the slideshow. But anyway, that's the slider. And then the other one we're just going to touch on, and I just so you know what it is basically code in a code. So if you remember from our last website, hosting company, they had source code. You could take a look at different things. Most of you probably won't use this. I use it to store information year to year so I don't lose coding or formatting or links. I can just put it into a notepad, and when I drop it here and then save it, it becomes that information without me having to really type or reformat anything. So just to kind of let you know what that is.